I said, hello and welcome to another episode of the Internet Set. So, a show we take random universal facts and review stories and we talk about it. And today's episode is. देखो ऐसे काम मांगते हैं सीधा स्टेज पे कैमरा के सामने अभी अगर मेरे को शो पे नहीं लाया
and you tell the Rohit Sharma story in Marathi. Take retak. It's a fraud, man. You see someone in a wheelchair, kick them. I'm telling you right now, they're all liars. It's madness. They take over the line, they slow down everything, and we're just watching. And we're watching, and as good Indians, we're showing respect. And then this is what happens.
See, this is what happened.
And then you take a left from there, and you'll see a chicken seller. Okay? Keep going. Everything he does only with the food visual. It's fabulous.
Kunal is the kind of guy who will tell you the Taj Mahal is opposite a petha shop.
Or behind Bade Miyan.
What is the right way to put it? Like, who goes first?
Hey, what kind of sentence is that? Tami se baat karo. What is the right way to put it? Kunal, just...
And who goes first?
And can I go from up? Like, what the fuck? And what do you mean too high?
And all this with a Japanese guy was there.
It's racist and sexist. It's amazing. Just call them up.
So, guys, the finalists for the last session, they are named after a 80s boy band. No, they're called TISS. And many of you follow them already. Let us invite up on stage Varun Thakur, Neville Shah, and Kautuk Srivastav. Bawani. Okay. So Bawa is not here because Bawa is employed. No, you guys don't know this. Yeah. So
Punit, you fill in.
Might as well.
Might as well. Sorry, folks. Neville, that's half Parsi gone. That's what, 20% already. Okay, what's the topic, Punit? I'll even let you host. Here. We've got cue cards. The topic is, it's a very boring topic about the evolution of podcasting. And the only thing I know is that it started with, around the time of Jesus Christ, with a guy called Ranveer Alabadia. Also known as beer and no biceps. Why do I do that? Like a jealous old auntie, no? Unnecessary. He's a sweet guy. I've met him. He smiles a lot. Reminds me of my father-in-law who's no more. Sadly, Ranveer is still here. No, he's a great guy. But you guys have lots more to talk about. Lovely haircut. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I love the one button open, Amitabh Bachchan style.
All right, why?
Fantastic. Give us a nipple from time to time if the show is boring.
Sure.
And
Ready?
No. I think so.
We are called TISS, not tits.
Okay. Well, by the end of the show, that'll change. But I think they have to talk a little bit about the origin of TISS.
Yeah,
The Tata Institute Social Sciences, whatever the hell it is.
Since we consciously uncoupled.
Beautiful. Much better.
So, and we were sort of missing doing the podcast. It was called The Big Question earlier. And it was, 2 years of us doing it? About 150 odd episodes.
Wow.
And then suddenly it was no more. And then it was 1 year of us sort of missing that feeling. And then one day we all just called. We said we got to do it again. And this idea sort of popped up. It was an extension of a stand-up comedy special that I had thought of, which was called Did You Know? Which is essentially you take random facts that you find on the internet and then you just talk about it.
How many have you done? Do you remember? How many episodes?
Podcasts?
Yeah.
Bro, I sleep through all of them. What are you talking about? This is reminding me of the podcast.
No, we've done 251 now of
251? No.
No. 150 plus...
Yeah, 150 of the older one, 1 year break, and now 250 of the new one.
Okay, but after the name change.
After the name change.
So after
but
Bombay-
even everything changed. Like the four of us were still there, just the name and the idea of what the podcast is going to be changed.
Also, they got married also in the middle somewhere.
To each
So
other?
things changed. No?
Yeah. I proposed, got declined
Yes, finally.
3 times.
They've done a lot of hard work, Punit. So take one line from each coupon that you have there.
No, this is for the drinks actually.
No, but Punit has written, not Punit, Prithvi has put down some 10,000 graphs out there.
So I like to share an anecdote of the last time I saw Cyrus after sundown. No, and this was a streaming awards function.
It was Kennedy Bridge. I was freelancing.
Yeah. And it was again past 9 p.m. and he just wanted to go home. Like, and वहाँ पे चड्डी भी नहीं था. He was wearing a suit. So he was the host of the event. And when he was announcing the winners, no, they were like all like, जल्दी मेरे को जाने का घर पे. And they were all angry at him. And he didn't wait back for the food, obviously, because
I would like everyone's attention to go to the front row where Kunal is watching an adult film. The lack of respect for our little podcast. Not even looking up. Oh, what did he say? What did he say? Throw him out of the front row. It's distracting. Yeah.
So we can always do AMA, but also like their journey has been over Zoom, like how we used to do it.
But that's also because one of the members is excommunicated and not allowed in India or something.
No, he's in a foreign country.
Oh, he's not. He left. As in, he went to study.
Okay, so
And then
now again.
he works there.
Oh, he went to study, is it?
Yeah, he went to study. He went to study Shakespeare, and then now he's staying there. He's acting, so he does it via Zoom. So Zoom also happened because of the pandemic. So we were doing it in person. The first 25 episodes of TISS were in person, and then obviously Zoom pandemic forced us to go back in, and then we were too lazy to come back out, and now it is sort of evolved into just being on Zoom. And
You know what I enjoyed about us being on Zoom was, if you see all the episodes chronologically, right? You see amazing production value. Then you see Zoom. Okay. Then you see us cobbling together episodes via, you know, those earphones with wires where we're just holding it up.
one AirPod.
Yeah.
One AirPod.
So we have all of that. And then slowly, when we realized, oh, we're not ever escaping this Zoom bubble, then we started improving the technology on Zoom.
Yeah.
So we got a camera. Bawa wiped his camera. You know, like just things happened.
He showered, you know. Like
Yeah.
we did small incremental changes. And now we've come to this comfortable space where we do it over Zoom. It's less headache, less stressful, and easy to do it with whenever we want.
No, but I think we had the same problem during the pandemic.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes of all our Zoom shows was just, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, just went on and on. It was amazing.
And IVM sent me a mic to my house. Ki ye use kar chute hai.
They actually did. They finally gave him a mic because Punit, can you hear us? Punit, you can hear us. Can you hear us? That was it.
Yeah, like a foreign correspondent, but from Kandivali.
Which
So
is a
foreign
fair comment.
correspondent.
Which is a foreign
Very fair
correspondent.
comment. Yeah.
But the other thing about that time of doing it on Zoom was that Varun here had possibly the worst internet provider in the history of humanity.
What? Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of the podcast. Where if you watch episode 1 to 251, you know more about me than my wife does.
Yeah, for sure.
And like little parts of our lives, like size service internet, I don't think anybody has taken a new subscription because the amount they have messed up with their service. Now it's become like a running joke. Like no matter whose internet is bad, everybody thinks size service.
And he's moved on to Reliance. Like it's
There's a business model, Amit, for you here. It's reverse branding. You take a brand, you screw the crap out of it and destroy it. So the enemy is a reverse branding.
but it has to be someone like Size Service who will not sue you back, you know, because they don't have the internet connection to see it.
They won't sue you back, they might murder.
Yeah.
They have that vibe.
I think Neville is a lawyer. You'll sort that out. Don't worry about it. Okay, now, since they've mentioned it, and for the 11 people who haven't seen the podcast out of the 1,000 here, what is the concept? Do you look at different...
No, so like I was saying, when it started off, it was supposed to be, we find random facts about a particular topic and we just chat. It's like a bunch of friends sitting together and talking. We are not trying to be supremely intellectual about it.
Because we can't.
Yeah, we can't, mainly.
Punit, unlike us.
We try very hard.
And slowly what happened is across the pandemic, actually, that's where the podcast evolved the most because it went from just being, random facts that we'll chat about to a lot of our personal stories that took precedence. And which is why I say that if you watch 250 episodes of a podcast, you know everything.
Looks
there
like
is to
all of
know
them have
about
watched.
it. Yeah.
Because everything he's saying, you're repeating. I'm getting irritated after some time.
No, but if you had to ask them one personal question about us, they'd be able to answer it. Like size service.
But you don't have to, honestly.
Don't ask.
When did Varun get married?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, I
Guys,
know that.
I gave so much confidence. I said 90% people will get it
2022
right.
year. Sorry? In Mahabaleshwar in 2022, which month?
Oh, wow. What room
what are
number
you, a
was
stalker?
I staying?
Scary, yeah?
It is, and that's one of the things, in fact, we're talking about like, with podcasts. The fact that I feel like you divulge so much of your life, right? Just, it's a completely public place, but it still oddly feels extremely personal.
Yeah.
Because, and I feel like it comes from this fact that, like we keep joking about this, that a podcast is essentially monetizing friendship for us.
Yeah.
Right? But essentially, like, because it's the four of us sitting, so it always feels like, because I'm talking to Varun about something that's happened in my life, just forget that this also goes out on the internet to public. So we end up talking about like extremely personal things, extremely like.
And we say it without realizing. I'll give you an example. There was a girl who used to sit in front of me all throughout my college life. Okay, her surname began with T, mine began with T. She would sit in front and I would copy. So we would sit and I would tap and then she would move and I would copy everything. I would get good marks. So I happened to say that in one of the episodes and I ended up saying the girl's name. So.
What's the name?
No, they might not know. I don't want to remind them. Because what has happened is, a week later, she has called me out of nowhere. So I said, wow, this is odd. I said, hey, I was just talking about you on my podcast. She's like, oh, that's the reason. I said, what happened? She's like, I've got 70 like DMs saying thank you for helping Varun. So people who are watching have heard it. They're relating so much that they just start messaging and say thank you for helping Varun in college. Because of you, he passed.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's true.
This would happen with my wife as well because I talk about her a lot.
Wait. When did Kautuk get married?
2020.
Okay, how does Kautuk talk about his wife?
Huh?
His wife's name is Siddhi.
So all
So
the stories
90%
begin
of his
with-
stories start with Siddhi and I.
We were doing XYZ or whatever.
Because grammar is very important,
And-
Cyrus.
I think it's very romantic that he puts the lady first always and all that.
It was mostly grammar also.
Grammar, yeah.
That's a different way of looking at it. She's walking out in disgust though.
No, but so what used to happen was because we were also podcasting during the pandemic. So everything that was happening in my life involved me and my wife. So my wife and I actually.
Siddhi, in case you forget.
Yeah. So what would happen is that I would talk about our stories, whatever's happening in our life. And what would happen is that people would also message her saying, hey, I heard you did this. How did you find it? And, she comes back to me. She's like, what are you saying? And why am I getting these messages? And can you not do this? And I have not heard or heeded her advice. So that's a good thing, I feel.
Does she also get DMs? Thank you for marrying Kautuk. ऐसा आता है क्या उसको भी?
नहीं. But
No, but they get periodically. Like, not just our wives. Like, for example, even like friends of mine. Like my best friend's son, he's my godson. I talk about him all the time. To a point where, like, somebody has come out and commented saying that if tomorrow there was a biopic on my life, there would be a chapter dedicated to this kid. And they know everything about this child. They've never met, never seen, but know everything about, because we end up going and oversharing.
So we organize shows for them around the country and like massive crowds and they're all fans and they come. It's a great show. But at the end, when there's a meet and greet, people come with presents and sweets.
Like what?
And
Dude,
What are the
you can
worst?
name it food, clothes,
keychains,
keychain, painting, chocolates.
So for a while, like now times have changed and I'm healthier, but but about 246 episodes, I have discussed my love for odd foods, for weird food combinations, for just like chocolate samosa sandwiches and those kind of things. Yeah,
Yes,
You like chocolate samosa sandwich?
it is.
He single-handedly like spiked up the
Sales of Jawar
Jawar puffs.
And
So-
made diabetes a household item?
Absolutely. So many people every morning. If I open Instagram, I get DMs of people sending me, here is new flavor of Jawar puff, enjoy. And then they'll be like, here is a guy in Surat doing something very borderline weird with food, enjoy. Okay, and so
what's the weirdest flavor you come across?
some guy made a Fanta omelette, which was
Fanta omelette.
which was very interesting
that
to look
mean?
at. He puts oil on the pan, he puts the egg on it, and then he just douses it in Fanta. Okay, and
Food man? Yeah, in the palau, apparently there's
Raspberry
raspberry.
in the
So they
pulao.
say.
But Fanta omelette.
I would exactly. And the thing is,
Kunal, come and stand here, no? Will always be irritating. Just stand here quietly in the
or
shadow.
join us. Genuinely,
I'm happy to sit here.
No. Just let him stand at the back. It's the only cardio he's going to get this week. Come, get him a chair. Come fast. We'll get you a chair. Prithvi, come on, one of the young boys with underwear can pick up the. Oh wow, you're picking up your own chair. Big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
First time.
Now this is exactly what this is like, where
Yeah.
we make it up as we go along.
Yeah.
This is
We've had about 14,000 formats.
yeah.
And they're all used to it. Like we'll make tiny,
But
tiny.
who's the boss creatively? Like, is there a guy calling the shots?
Neville.
That's a joke.
No. So we don't really like. We all sort of take up in different responsibilities. So there's no one particular boss per se.
And we've learned from the previous one that you shouldn't have one.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. What went wrong that night?
Yeah. We still don't have a contract, so it's fine.
Yeah.
No. So we for some like Kautuk mentioned earlier, for us, this is literally us monetizing our friendship. You know, like this podcast is how we talk normally, except now it's happening over Zoom or in front of a camera. And I think that's what really works for it, which is why we don't end up having some hierarchy of acha, tu boss hai, tera sunenge, nothing like that. It's all like somehow we collectively manage to take calls.
But I don't know about you guys, but 4 or 5 people sitting together, always tough. Whenever we've done it with this man, what is the record? 11 yawns in 1 hour, 4 minutes. And it's live. Just in the middle. And everybody else is like, Varun, all animated and into it completely. And suddenly this guy is like, how do you
Neville
do
is
that?
that person for us. Neville is
The
that
time of the
person.
day.
Does Neville actually yawn?
He doesn't yawn, he falls asleep.
Disconnected.
He falls asleep. So, sometimes you'll just see him on the podcast and he's looking down for too long.
Yeah.
And then you have to call him.
Do we have to keep messaging him? Look up, look
Yeah.
up. Don't touch your hair, because then he will sit, then he will do this with his hair. I said, you are the podcast. You're not listening to a podcast that you're like, acha hai.
Yeah, I never seen him smiling in all the years. I think he did it before resting bitch face was a thing. Bawa was already doing it, like without knowing it. But that's the vibe, right? That's cool.
But that's what actually works, because we are 4 inherently very different people.
How do you
But
describe each one? Let's see. That'll be fun.
No, like
Personality.
personality-wise, like I am supremely extroverted.
He's extroverted.
Yeah. See, nah.
Who's ambiverted?
I was testing if anybody would respond.
He's ambiverted or extroverted?
So I said on the podcast, I'm ambiverted, and there was some 100 thing. No chance, you are not. It's not possible. So I was like, no, I like having fun, but sometimes I like my own time. So I'm ambivert. Balls. You can't
Kautuk?
be.
I'm fuck.
See, Kautuk is like the storyteller of the group. Like through the podcast, one thing that has also evolved has we started doing this one format where we could all come with one story each. And because he's a writer, he's very good with the way he will communicate this idea. And we used to love it because suddenly we are recording a podcast, but we feel like we are listening to his podcast in like a podcastception.
Podcast in the podcast.
Yeah. And that has gotten him to start his own thing. So he brings that to the...
You're going to break up the band again. You say, I don't need these guys anymore. I've got my own podcast.
No.
So
Writers don't have that luxury.
There's one disclaimer that he reads books, Cyrus, like physical
Wow.
books.
Yeah.
he's just
What a time that was, no?
Yeah. It's a
He reads the books. I watch the movie based on those books.
yeah.
And Neville falls asleep.
Yeah, Neville.
In between.
Neville's like the dad of the group.
What about the 2 who aren't here?
Adar is in London, so he periodically, like once every 6 odd months, he will come down to do the live versions of the shows. Otherwise, he joins us from there. Adar is cracked.
So to give you
I'll
context.
to give you one example of why I'm saying Adar is cracked, because one thing he is known on the podcast, like Kautuk will do it. See. So Kautuk will do your stories, he'll articulate a point very nicely. So you love listening to what he's saying. I'm somebody who will hear a story and I will start acting the story out. Adar brings monkey facts. Now it sounds so odd to people who have not watched it. What the fuck does that mean?
monkey
So-
facts.
Monkey
fact-
facts
Monkey-
or monkey facts?
Not monkey facts.
No,
Is it a play on
Monkey.
monkey?
No, that's a different podcast.
Ah. Another no ball. Panya, 2 no balls, you're out.
So it started at episode 101, where Adar got one fact about monkeys. Okay, like literal simians. Okay, he's got a fact. He says it. The next episode he comes back. Oddly enough, he's got another monkey fact. All right, now as the podcast starts going on, every episode he seems to find one new, completely undiscovered monkey fact.
Monkey fact.
Tell us
Around
one.
the topic.
Tell us one.
He had one where
The monkeys that were being smuggled.
a monkey who got into Uttar Pradesh's court,
And he's going through the papers. He's the paralegal. He's just like,
He must be the MLA of that region. Right?
So yeah, I mean, like, and he just, it's just through consistency that every episode he would have one new thing, and we would look forward to it. Like, आज क्या लाया है? कौन से monkey के ऊपर है? Is it
Like how
chimpanzee? Is
people
it-
would send him Jawar Puffs, they would send him monkey facts.
Yeah, it's a crazy.
And Neville is the dad of the group.
But I've done some stuff with him. He's quite deadpan. He's good with the deadpan thing.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
He
It's
is.
a straight face.
Yes.
He's
So he's
one
pain
of
in
the
the
best
ass, that
actors you'll meet. He's
Yeah, yeah,
actually very, very talented with his improv, with his acting. So
Music.
he brings that, and music, of
And
course.
music.
I mean,
Yeah,
he didn't have a choice with that.
All right. So we'll let people ask questions, whatever you want. And of
You don't
course-
have to, huh? Like, it's
This is what I like about India is whenever you do that, it always takes time.
They are worried. They're like, we have to ask a question. Do we have to give super chat while we ask?
Are they also being ambivert? Is that the
Looks
thing?
like it.
Yeah.
Takes a little while.
Yeah, sure. Man.
oh yeah, we have a question there. Yeah.
Hi Varun, considering Rohit Sharma is not in form, do you want to flex about your Rohit Sharma story? I'd
Bro,
love to hear
he's
that.
going to
What, you
come
got
and
him out?
hit-
You got him out?
So as for the millionth time.
Was it the pull?
Huh?
Was it the pull?
No, it was a slower ball.
Varun acted out. No, I mean.
I will act it out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
basically, we were playing school cricket. This is 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago. So I said, I don't know. He said, is Rohit Sharma? He's a very good batsman. वो मारेगा तेरे को हर जगह. I said, ठीक है. So bowled first 4 balls, cut, cover drive, pull. He's done everything. Last ball, I went to him. I said, listen, I'm going to bowl him a slower ball. तू mid off पे आगे आजा. And I bowled him that slower ball, and he got out like that. And that was it. It didn't make a difference
Out
at that
as in
point.
caught it mid
No,
off?
no, like that. He went to hit, but the ball was slow, so it just went up, balloon, caught at mid off. Now at that point in time, it didn't make a difference. Now all of this happened. Last year, I'm doing something for Mumbai Indians. So I'm like, मैं इसको बोलूँगा आज. Because I was saying it to everybody else. Nobody is believing. So then I've gone, sat next to him, and I said, oh, Rohit, I used to play school cricket, and, I got you out, and, I bowled a slower ball. He's just looking at me like that. तू है कौन बे? ये कौन है? तू क्या है? Because for him it doesn't make a difference, but for me it's still my biggest achievement in cricket. So
Well, not to be rude, but also I think in life. Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean,
what are we
Rohit
on a
Sharma.
roast?
What?
Yeah, right up there.
And at 13, he was a prodigy. 13, 14.
Yeah, he was.
So fantastic. Kautuk, did you get anybody out?
No, I didn't. But I'll tell you another thing about the podcast, and I think why it's lasted this long is because honestly, I think I have a feeling that we don't listen to each other when we tell these stories. Because I'm listening to this going like, oh, that's the story.
You're talking to the master, dude. Yes.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some really boring guests also, to be honest. Yeah. The problem is, there's some actors, I won't take names, who talk really softly. So you start with people like him and me who are a little bit hyper. You're like, hey, welcome to the show. And the other guy goes like, hi. And then the rhythm is just difficult for an hour after that because you have to come down and just balancing here. And then
Actually, should ask you guys this. Like, so we're now getting guests onto the podcast, like a lot more guests. And like, so how do you calibrate yourselves when you have different guests on the podcast?
He just keeps talking.
I
think
just
that's
use
the-
deodorant.
Fair enough.
For me, that's a very important thing because they keep putting the AC on 26, motherfucker. I mean, what's wrong with this country? Anybody with Genghis Khan's bloodline, all you do is just sweat and suffer.
But that's exactly how you make money with a podcast. You got to save
Saving
costs
electricity.
somewhere. Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough. Gujarati Manas che. What can I do?
But Kunal's also done episodes with politicians, right? How does that go? Do you sort of have an equation with
Kunal
them?
only asks the very hard questions if you see his show. He's always like attacking them. Kunal?
No, only 2 politicians I've done.
Sisodia
Rahul
was-
Gandhi and
You did Raj Thakre also ना?
Raj
Yeah.
Thakre, yeah.
खूप आवडला तुमचं.
खूप आवडलं?
एकदम मस्त.
So Raj Thakre, बोला.
Should I tell you? मी रात्री जेव्हा मला भूक लागते ना,
हाँ.
आणि इट्स ओके इफ आय एम टॉकिंग मराठी राईट? हां क्या ऑफ कोर्स.
I had no
लागते
idea,
तर माझी
man.
सवय आहे की मी बसून फूड व्हिडिओज बघतो.
हाँ.
तुमचा परवाच बघत होतो
कुठला बघितलं?
ते वडापाववाला. बाप रे, आणि वडापाव इज माय फेवरेट फूड. So
Yes, and
I
there are some
love
good vada
literally
pav
every episode that you've done. Even the Raj Thakre one, very the way.
Would you like to sit here closer?
Yeah, I would. I would like to be on the show also.
Please come. We will definitely do something.
देखो ऐसे काम मांगते हैं, ठीक है? सीधा स्टेज पे कैमरा के सामने. अभी अगर मेरे को शो पे नहीं लाया,
And you tell the Rohit Sharma story in Marathi.
Again.
Ek retak.
So you have to describe Shaitan Haveli to
Oh, yeah.
Cyrus.
शैतान हवेली. To whomsoever. So this was when Amazon had just come to India. They were looking at fiction shows to do, and the head at that point said India needs a horror comedy. Coincidentally, I happened to have a one-pager written. Made him listen to it. He loved it. So got in touch with my very good writer friend Kautuk, and then we sat together, fleshed it out, and managed to release it. It's one of the first 6 fiction shows that Amazon Prime released in India. So it's a horror comedy, which is a parody of all the Ramsey movies that used to come back in the day.
20 saal baad and all those.
Yeah. Purani Haveli.
I know these guys have seen
Who did
Yellow Blood,
Dracula?
Green Blood. They've changed the whole.
They
They
were
were
alive
this is
20 years
3-2.
back. They were all
3-2
Gen Z.
audience. They will not know that.
Kunal was, you acted in one Ramsey Brothers.
No, I don't. But I can tell you one thing, there was a great Mawa cake shop exactly opposite their office at Grand Road Station.
I love
I
it.
love how food just comes.
I love
at you.
it.
Superb.
So if you get lost, I'm very bad with directions, and before the mobile phone era, going to places like, all these strange studios in the, not suburbs, sorry. I'll tell the South Bombay guys. You guys understand, no point, yeah.
No, but Kunal is
No, so he would tell me, he would give me directions like that. He said, okay, you go straight, there's a vada pav guy. From there, you take a left, and there's a fantastic kebab fellow, but you have to go early, otherwise it runs out. And then you take a left from there, and you will see a chicken seller. Okay, keep going. So everything he does only with the food visual. It's fabulous.
Kunal is the kind of guy who will tell you the Taj Mahal is opposite a petha shop.
Or behind Bade Mia.
Wow, dude. North Indian reference, dude.
अरे हम भी दुनिया देखे हैं पानिया साहब.
So horror comedy, like when Ramsey used to make it, was it intentionally that bad? No, right? It's now in hindsight, it's horror comedy.
no.
They didn't have the funds.
No. In fact, sorry, I want to say this point. I feel like the stuff that you can, so bad that it's good, that stuff it's only good when it's people operating at the absolute top of their talent.
Hey, have you seen Hello Friends?
That's exactly what I mean.
I remember watching on Z Cafe.
Hey, you must tell us about
You
that.
watched it when it came out. I mean, back in the day, 99,
Yeah,
2000.
yeah.
Wow.
Wait, you must tell us about
Next day,
that.
Rohit Sharma got out.
But Cyrus, like, what was that like when you were doing it?
Look,
Did you know that it
Kautuk,
was...
I'll be totally honest. I was the one who hadn't watched Friends. So I'm completely blameless. Because I have no interest. I didn't watch it. I hadn't seen the show, so I had no idea. All of them had. So they had some idea about what it was. So the murder that was happening, it's on them more than me. I just remember the very first premise of the very first episode, which is, what is the character? Ross's character?
He's a
Ross.
paleontologist.
Ross.
Whatever his name is, yeah. Whatever his name is. but-
Ross's character,
Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer. let's reverse it. David Schwimmer. So apparently the plot is that the wife leaves him for another woman, which back in the day was funny. Now it's woke and different. So that was the plot. He said, "Apna parampara aur sanskriti mein ye nahi chalega, nahi ho sakta. We have to make it a man." So we told him on the table that, but if it's a man, we're going to feel bad for him because it's like she's left him for a man. But for a woman back in the day, it was funny. You know, the whole thing. You just wouldn't. And then the whole thing, Nikhil Chinnappa is playing this Ross David character with his chin, double Chinnappa touching the ground there. And mumbling his lines like Marlon Brando. Oh, chali gayi. Yeah, and we're doing exactly what Varun's doing. We're all trying not to laugh.
I think this show was why Matthew Pai started drinking in the first place.
All right, they were asking questions.
There's a question here, yeah.
Intro, do the intro.
Oh,
Wait,
First,
before-
some context.
You have to
Set
give
up.
a warning.
So when we started doing this podcast, right, we literally just sat. We sat, camera on, blah, 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 blah. But then it's weird for somebody watching, they have to give something.
What is the
So
show?
We
Yeah.
just literally said, hi guys, welcome to the Internet Set So, a show where we take random, interesting, weird, absurd facts, stats, trivia, and our personal stories, and we talk about it. Except, I don't say it like that. I said, hello and welcome to another episode of the Internet Set So, a show where we take random, interesting, weird, absurd facts, stats, trivia, and our personal stories, and we talk about it. And today's episode is...
Yeah, it's the...
And sometimes I go back to see the evolution of this intro. There was no facts, stats, trivia. No, there was just facts, trivia. Then I said facts, stats bhi hai. Stats. Trivia bhi hai. Trivia. Arey, personal stories bhi hai. And personal stories. And then I literally say, and we talk about it. which didn't need explanation.
Completely redundant.
As opposed to a mime kind of
Mime,
podcast.
yeah, and we mime it.
I think loosely inspired by the line marketing subject to mutual funds.
Yes.
or something.
Yeah. That's the
Yes.
cadence.
It's in
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
It's in that genre.
And it's so stupid, it's so weird, but
they
now
all
it's...
quote it.
This is our version of रिश्तों के भी रूप बदलते.
But Cyrus, this is how cults are formed, no?
Yeah. We joke about this.
Yeah,
like,
cult.
when we do live shows, we do joke about this. That in our live shows, out of 100 people, 96 of them know who we are, and 4 people have been dragged by somebody who knows who we are. And so we joke about this, like, welcome to the cult. The doors are now shut. So yeah, we're going to sacrifice you at the end of the show.
And there are times when we are saying stuff that is funny for a TISS fan, but somebody who does not watch, just looking around wondering, Kya hai ye? What are you laughing about exactly?
We've had to tell our family, don't come for this show, because you will not get it. You will just not get it.
During the Olympics, that Turkish shooter who came. You remember, na? He just stood like that.
In a t-shirt.
So what describes our podcast the best is that where on one side you had that Korean shooter who had like 19 glasses and a bionic hand and all of that, right? So somebody had made a meme saying other podcasts with fancy equipment,
Production.
you know, like big guests and do. And then the other thing was this Dichek guy, and on that is written TISS, because we're literally just podcast shoot kar rahe hain. So people sort of also related to the absolute rawness of it, where it's not,
Can we have more live shows in Mumbai?
Oh.
Yeah, but we are. Feb. Tickets are live here on 16 Feb.
Also come to Thane.
Tickets are live. We are here.
Is it cheaper in Thane?
For
Tickets?
yeah, no.
No.
No. We don't do that Android and iPhone thing.
Amit, fruit in Malba Hill costs a lot more. No euphemism, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Do you still like doing live shows, Cyrus, or you just go when there's...
I want to start a breakfast show concept, man. Nobody's interested. I'm telling you, there's got to be some market. You'll come? Really? So sweet.
You watch a
Who's
lot of
AMAs?
podcasts.
What do you do for a living?
Watch his podcasts.
You know what? Come and sit next to Kunal. 6 months to make him look like the young Pooja Bedi. That's our challenge. I got a new podcast for all of us.
But that's not good for business, no?
Why?
As a food podcast, you can't look fit, right? I mean,
Okay, as we end the night, Kunal, take off your shirt. Okay, that's it. Last question, final question, anybody? Monkey fact?
One was the cops in Bihar hired monkeys to get rid of more monkeys. And then they gave one of the monkeys a police hat.
how can you hire a monkey like this? Do they sign a contract?
But I don't know what all goes on in Bihar, bro.
No. LinkedIn.
Okay, I'm feeling a lot of serendipity looking at the forum today. And Cyrus TISS was the first podcast that I ever saw, again in 2016, same year.
Wow.
I haven't stopped seeing either of those things ever since I first discovered that.
Now that's how you talk to your people. Beautiful words.
But wait, he's not done.
He says serendipity.
There's a question. Is there a space for both of these worlds to come together
Yes.
more?
Yes, we've
more
come.
deeply and
Wait, so I'm going to be on Kunal's, okay? And we have come here to tell you to come on ours. How many people want to see Cyrus on TISS?
Both of you have come on ours before.
Yeah.
Come again.
I've
we
come
come again.
long time. You've not called after that.
That
But
sounds
It'll
very
have to
vulgar.
be a morning podcast for him.
So what? We'll do it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think we'll just have to, like, all of us have to come on some podcast.
can we
Can
get a
we do
cut
this?
of this?
Can we do the podcast in the first half of the day?
We can. We can do it at any
8:30,
point.
9:30 for some of us with heart issues. Right, Kunal?
That's the beauty of Zoom. Right?
That's the
It's
beauty, yeah.
Completely like up to us.
You
I
don't even
love-
have to wake up. You can just open your laptop. Hi,
You guys have proved everybody wrong. I mean, all of you all saying we can't do Zoom and must look nice and all that. They've just explained the Turkish shooter.
See, this one.
Why can't we just go back to Zoom? Wear no clothes, just do what we
Yeah,
want.
absolutely.
My wife in the background screaming, "What's the dogs?" Whatever all shit happens. Like some, Midwestern family rednecks having a conversation while the podcast is on. Okay, are we done?
No, one more.
Oh, wow.
Cyrus.
Voice of
Women
God.
are so demanding, huh?
Yo.
Yeah.
Jenny!
What's your rant of the day?
Oh, I got to tell you. I came off a flight in Gurgaon. There's a crime, we had a crime podcast just now, but there's a crime being perpetrated, and I think the government, somebody has to take a look at this seriously. It's going to divide the country. There's these chutias. in wheelchairs at the airport. Okay? They're just running around in wheelchairs and we're walking behind them and giving them space. There's good Indians, we do namaste and all that. Auntie, auntie, jaiye, please, of course. All that we do. The moment they enter the aircraft and the guy takes off with the wheelchair, auntie jumps up and opens everything and she's like opening a bag and checking something, taking something out. They say, toilet, ja sakte ho? All this shit is happening. It's a fraud, man. You see someone in a wheelchair, kick them. I'm telling you right now, they're all liars. It's madness. They take over the line, they slow down everything, and we're just watching. And we're watching, and as good Indians, we're showing respect. And then this is what happens.
Can I contribute to this rant?
Please.
This happened to us. We were in line at the airport, and you know that fucking trolley system has happened, na? So there's 5 places from where you can put it. So everybody goes. Now nobody knows who can put first. So everybody just puts. I've seen a Japanese man break, like his entire resolve break, because he went there very sweetly, he took everything, he waited, 7 people went ahead of him, he's just there, okay, because he doesn't want to do, so he's just there. People have gone, he doesn't know what to do. I'm just looking, because I'm in a long ass line, I'm like, mera time pass ho raha hai, okay? I'm seeing this guy. Then he said, okay, I'll go that side, maybe I'll be first from there. He's gone there, he's waiting to put it, but where he was standing earlier, some other guy has gone, kya chal raha hai? And all the trains are coming. This dude, he said, fuck the world, he stopped it. Then put his bag here. And then it went. So Japanese guys like, okay, maybe I'll go there again. He's moved back. All this is happening. Like a Priyadarshan film. He goes back. Now another dude has come in front of him and he has made this mountain with his luggage. Belt, bag, laptop. This is a lagori khel raha hai, theek hai? And he's put it now, you can clearly see, maybe it's his first time. So you benefit of the doubt. But you have depth perception. Na? You height, if this goes like this, it's going to hit. He still put it like that. And then he just started walking. So people are like, what is going on exactly? And then he turned around, came back. This was in Delhi. So we said,
Delhi.
yeah. So we said, bro, like, what is going on? So he's come and told Kautuk, क्या दिक्कत है भाई? आ गया ना वापस? Just being Delhi. So okay, not that funny.
No, but
We'll go back.
At the end, a Japanese guy said bencho after that. At the end.
Bro, I saw he didn't know what to do. I think he missed his flight. Because he was just going from one.
No, he's still
3
there.
days in India, we take out the Western culture. 3 days it takes for them to understand that it's a waste of time. Lines.
Now he just goes and hold. Abey chal, kya dikkat hai bhai?
He got arrested in Tokyo, but.
Hey, what is the right way to put it? Like, who goes first?
Hey,
the
what
one
kind of sentence is that? Tamiz se baat karo. What is the right way to put it?
And who goes first?
And can I go from up? Like, and what do you mean too high?
And all this with a Japanese guy was there.
It's racist and sexist. It's amazing. Okay.
Good save.
Great show. Good night. All done. Okay, let's just thank everybody formally. Abhay Singh Benchot, thank you so much. Looks a bit like Asaram Bapu, but there's this difference. Punit, thank you for taking over the hosting duties.
Yeah.
And the wonderful guys from TISS, 50%. 50%. We got a discount, I think, today. Nobody knows where Neville is. Please tell him that the whole crowd came to see him.
Yeah, we keep telling him. They are called BawaSimps, by the way.
BawaSimps have come here.
BawaSimps.
I still don't understand why. But they are hardcore.
So they're only men.
No, men, women, both.
Both.
Yeah.
There's BawaSimps and AdarChimps, and that's it. That's the whole podcast. That's the whole podcast.
And Vijay Kunal ka this.
Let me say something now. I always make fun of him. I feel bad later when I'm sleeping. Beautiful man.
What a heartwarming note to end an India Pod Day on.
Milk of human kindness. Okay, guys, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for coming us. Yeah.
It's been wonderful. Thank you for
Thank you,
supporting
thank you for
Pod Day.
having us.
Everyone at IVM, thank you. And of course, TISS. Keep going.
Thank you so much.
We'll do a photo here. Guys, thank you for coming. This was India Pod Day brought to you by Amazon Music India and IVM Podcast in association with Pradilipi and Westland Publishing. I hope you guys had a good time. Yes? All right.